20 laps of 250 action as we take a look now at the 250 lineup sponsored by Honda. You've got Jeremy McGrath and David Vuillemin, the only winners on the year. Kevin Windham and Sebastian Tortelli from Team Yamaha, or Team Honda rather. Timmy Ferry, Greg Albertine, Ricky Carmichael, Mike LaRocco, Damon Huffman, Jean-Sebastian Waugh, Kyle Lewis, Larry Ward, Michael Craig, also a winner in Supercross. Privateer Heath Boss, Isaiah Johnson, John Dowd, all kinds of outstanding riders. Greg Schnell, the 125 West rider, making it in the last chance qualifier with an impressive ride. The 32nd board is up. Will Yamaha win their 100th Supercross victory? A landmark for Yamaha if Jeremy McGrath, David Vuillemin, or another rider on a Yamaha can get that checkered flag.
Well, it's looking pretty good. McGrath winning his heat race, Vuillemin winning his heat race. The only two winners on the season. I say the odds look good. Check out LaRocco here all the way on the inside.
Main event underway. Jeremy McGrath, a great start. Jeremy McGrath gets his third hole shot of the year. Damon Huffman in second on the number 20, Team Suzuki. The Yahoo Sports Hole Shot Award to Jeremy McGrath. Tortelli is up there behind Huffman.
What a great start for Huffman. What an interesting first corner. Ricky Carmichael circulating in last place now after going down.
In 13th is David Vuillemin.
Look at Carmichael. He gets in there against his teammate, gets sideways, and as that bike swings back around, he clips the inside corner marker and collects Mike LaRocco. LaRocco, a great start for a change. Right there alongside Vuillemin, but they just get hung up. They got to go around all this wreckage.
There you see LaRocco getting off and having to pull the bike back. A bad break for LaRocco.
That's it. He is not going to even come close to finishing where he wants to finish tonight, which is probably one of those top two spots he'd be happy with. It just looks about impossible now with a start like that.
So, David Bailey, do you suspect now we have a race for second? Ward. Windham goes down. Ward gets through the confrontation with number 14, Kevin Windham.
Now Kevin has to restart the bike. The energy that takes, lose your rhythm. More riders going by. He's behind LaRocco now. Take a look at Ward running fourth.
Another look now.
Oh, that was just inches right there. Kevin tripling into that corner. Just clips the back wheel of Larry Ward. I don't think Larry Ward meant to do that. He was just taking his line. Kevin thought he could just sneak back under there.
Jeremy McGrath already with almost a 2-second lead on Damon Huffman. But look at Damon Huffman, Tortelli, and Ward and Albertine. Off to tremendous starts and could end up with their best results in the year 2000 so far.
And yeah, once again, Albertine at the tail end of this pack we just talked about. Another pretty strong performance for Greg. He's been up front in each of the last three main events.
There's Sebastian Tortelli. Tortelli in third place.
He may just start turning into more and more of a Supercross rider as this season progresses. He's getting faster. He's starting to turn some of the fastest laps in practice and in his heat races.
Always well-conditioned Tortelli. Last week in 8th at Indy, his best of the year was the opener at Anaheim where he took a 4th place. But right now, he's hovering in 3rd. Number 7, Greg Albertine, trying to catch up to Larry Ward in 4th position.
Albie, I'm sure, is aware of the situation with Larry Ward, knowing that towards the end of the race, Larry may start to struggle a little bit, just not being able to train as much due to injuries, and capitalize on that.
Albie in 5th. Boy, would he like a podium. His last podium was a 2nd place at Dallas in April of '97. Tortelli having to restart the bike, David.
That's just right after the triple. You're trying to get stopped to the corner without stalling the bike. Soil's real loose right there.
So Ward and Albertine move up a notch with Tim Perry behind them. Number 10, Larry Ward, Team Kawasaki. His first year on the Kawasaki team.
Albie sticking that front wheel in there, letting Larry know you better not go wide again.
And Greg Albertine, as they go through the Toyota corkscrew, after his great national championship, extended his contract with Team Suzuki. Hopes to end his career with Suzuki.
Look at the momentum through that whoop section.
Here comes Albertine. Albertine goes to the outside. Larry Ward has to let him go. What great power and acceleration and control through the whoops.
That was just determination. He came out of the corner and just, he had his sights set on the line he wanted to pick right to the outside of Ward. No problem.
So can Greg Albertine be on his first podium in quite a while. Larry Ward tries to pick up on Albertine. Jeremy McGrath is taken away with this one in Pontiac, Michigan. And we shall return in a moment. Back to the Silverdome. Jeremy McGrath, after taking his third consecutive hole shot, leads this field. Number 934, David Vuillemin, when he gets a good start, can ride with anyone. He got hung up. There he passes Greg Snell.
Vuillemin is working his way up the ladder, back up into 8th. You saw how much he got held up in the first corner, so it has been a great ride, but the problem is he was the closest guy to Jeremy in the point. Jeremy now will stretch that points lead out. I don't see any way Vuillemin can get up inside the top. I mean, 5th would be a stretch right now, and what a chunk of points that's going to give to Jeremy.
20 laps. It becomes an endurance race after a while, especially when you're fighting from behind.
See how hard it is to get stopped for that corner. Isaiah Johnson right there in the main groove, having his problems.
There's John Dowd, number 16.
Wyndham starting to climb back into this now after his earlier mistake.
Kevin Wyndham, number 14.
The year didn't start off too bad for Kevin either at Anaheim. Up on the podium, I thought, well, this could be it. This could be the year where Kevin has all the tools, the confidence, the bike, the experience. But it's been a nerve-wracking experience for him ever since. Just gets so tight in the main event, unable to ride to his potential. This isn't really working out much better. I think he's probably riding, feeling comfortable right now, but not in the position he wants to be in.
Vuillemin, a long way back in double digits in seconds to Jeremy McGrath as we take a look at the 8th place Kevin Wyndham. McGrath in first, Huffman in second, Albertine in third. And Wyndham, as we zero in on him, is in 9th place.
Remember Ricky Carmichael going down to that first corner, obviously did a face plant, no visor on that helmet. He's climbed his way up into 12th spot.
He was 11th here last year in his very difficult premier year in 250s. He won the 125 East Crown here back in 98. And of course, 97, he wore the number 70. He had a crash in that race in the 125s in 97 here, but ended up 3rd.
This has not been a good weekend for Ricky. Crashing yesterday, going in for a CAT scan, a possibly bruised spleen. But meanwhile,
the winningest rider in sports history, the defending 6-time Supercross champion, Jeremy McGrath, just takes away with it.
Just staying on task, doing what he has to do, knowing when the whole shot is really important.
He's almost 18 seconds in front of 934 David Vuillemin, who came into this race second in points. Vuillemin now in the battle for 6th with Larry Ward.
That just gives you an idea of the kind of pace and the resolve that Vuillemin has to be so far back in the pack. Remember, Larry Ward at one point was in 3rd place, and here these guys are battling. Vuillemin is on the move. It won't be good enough for him to stay in contention in the points championship, but it will be a fine ride.
Well, and you never know. What if something should happen to Jeremy?
That's always possible. I mean, you just definitely want to position yourself, if you can't be beating him, the next best guy in line. He has done that, but he is losing ground fast.
Look at that, Kevin Windham passing.
He wasn't able to do the triple that time. For whatever reason, the faces of those jumps are rutted. It's getting even worse.
So now it's Kevin Windham assaulting Larry Ward from the rear there. Ward, Windham.
You know what happened there, Art? They came into the corner, and Larry Ward pulled one of those old-school moves on Vuillemin. He shut down and made sure that Vuillemin wouldn't be able to jump the double. What he unknowingly did is open the door for Kevin Windham to move right up by the Frenchman.
And now Kevin's capitalized even more, getting around Ward. And you see Ferry just ahead of Kevin now over the triple. So Kevin still has another rider. He can move up into the top 5. That would be an improvement over the past couple of races.
Vuillemin trying to get a wheel in front of Larry Ward. There's Windham, Ward, and Vuillemin. This is the only race on the track right now, as Vuillemin just can't seem to get around the very pesky Larry Ward. Ward is showing a lot of courage right now.
Well, I know that he's having to dig deep right now for this performance with the pain and lacking the fitness.
Windham on a charge. He's got 3 seconds off Tim Ferry's advantage in the last lap. Number 14, Windham, takes the inside move into 5th place. Jeremy McGrath continues to lead round 7 of Toyota Trucks presents EA Sports Supercross. We'll be back. Back in Pontiac, Michigan, the Silverdome, round 7 of EA Supercross. It is Jeremy McGrath looking to tie Bob Hanna as the all-time Yamaha winning rider. McGrath with 19 wins to Hanna's 20 wins. And behind him, this battle is raging on. Larry Ward, number 10, has been in the thick of the action the entire race. Despite the fact he's in 8th place, he's got a teammate, John Dowd, who's been hounding him, and Vuillemin has just passed him.
See, Dowd was a little bit closer a lap ago. He made a mistake somewhere and lost some time. That gives Ward just a little bit of room to breathe. Back behind, right behind John Dowd, though, now is number 5, LaRocco. You see LaRocco just heading up the hill right there. So he is starting to apply the pressure here.
The former 2-time 125 Western champion, number 20, Damon Huffman. I'll tell you, Roger DeCoster has got to have a smile in his heart right now. They were saying all kinds of things when he signed Damon Huffman, who has had a couple of very bad years. But Roger has got to be having the last laugh right about now.
I'm sure he's happy. I know he sees a lot of potential in Damon. Damon's a great kid. He's young. He's got an incredible smooth style. And he can ride Supercross. I mean, he don't win 2 125 titles by accident. He had to beat off guys like Ryan Hughes to get those championships. And there's 3rd place right there, Greg Albertine. He's starting to feel a little pressure now from Tortelli, but if Albie and Huffman can stay where they are, that's 2 Suzukis up on the podium. I'm sure that'll give Roger a reason to smile.
They're just starting to pass a lap or Terlicki. And here comes Sebastian Tortelli versus Greg Albertine. The former World GP Motocross champions going back and forth.
This is a rivalry right here. Battling that out for the 250 World Championship. These guys just keep finding each other out there on the racetrack.
Tortelli, a 125 and 250 winner. Greg Albertine, a 3-time world champion. And, of course, his biggest credential here in America, a tremendous championship in the national motocross scene last season, the 1999 season. Here's Jeremy McGrath.
Watch him through these loops. Keeps the bike flat. Not quite as aggressive through there as he was in the heat race or earlier in the main event. He doesn't have to be, but even when he's just kind of taking it easy through there on cruise control, it's still faster than most everyone else and consistent.
With Jeremy McGrath possibly winning his 5th race of the year and Vuillemin winning 2. That's 7 consecutive wins for Yamaha would tie an all-time single-season win streak for them. Hanna back in 78 with 6, and Mike Bell, capping it for number 7 back then. And if you count Las Vegas last year, it's actually 8 consecutive wins for Yamaha, 7 in this season.
They've got it working over there. This could be starting a mini streak here for Jeremy. This could be 3 in a row if he hangs on. Now, look at Tortelli really starting to tighten the screws on Huffman now. Just when I thought Huffman was out in the clear for second, nothing's safe with Tortelli on the track, because that guy is so fast at the end of the race.
McGrath with better than a 10-second lead as Huffman tries to hold it together against Sebastian Tortelli. Both of them very hungry riders. Tortelli winning a motocross-like track in Los Angeles' Coliseum. In fact, that was the last Kawasaki victory in Supercross back in '89.
These guys are coming up on the white flag. So Tortelli will do all that he can to try to get around Huffman, maybe try to use the lapped riders to his advantage, capitalize on a mistake or a bad decision by Huffman, but he has got the pressure on.
As we thought might happen, we've got a great race for second place.
I used to just hate this. You get some guy just putting the pressure on you in the last lap, you're tired, you're going, oh, come on, leave me alone.
Here's our leader, Jeremy McGrath, on the final lap.
Jeremy doesn't have to worry about pressure. He doesn't have to worry about nailing that whoop section one more time, but Huffman does.
Whoa! Sebastian Tortelli putting that wheel in front on the turn. They collide just a little bit. Sebastian Tortelli, a good angle. By the bars, they come down into the triple. Tortelli takes over second place. Huffman still within earshot of the podium. And here is Jeremy McGrath approaching the checkers for the 5th time this year. The 65th time in his career. Tortelli in second, and Damon Huffman a very close third. 2 very fine races by guys who were just hungry to get on that podium.
Yeah, there's Tortelli's mechanic.
Shane Drew.
He's stoked. Of course, Jeremy's happy. He has reason to be. That's 3 in a row now. He extends his points lead. There's the sportsmanship. Tortelli, he's happy with the way he rode, having to come from behind the way he did. I think Huffman, too. I mean, I know he's disappointed from letting Tortelli get by, but that's his best finish. A 5th last week, a 3rd this week, starting to get on a roll.
This makes Jeremy the second leading winningest rider here in Pontiac. As Hanna had 9 wins, Jeremy McGrath now with 5, 1 better than Bradshaw's 4. We'll be right back. Here at Pontiac, Jeremy McGrath has taken his 3rd consecutive win, where he's led every lap of those 3 races. Still coughing from the flu. Let's get down to Davey.
All right, Jeremy. You lost 2 races to Vuillemin, but I got to tell you, these last 3 races are arguably your best ever. You've led all 60 laps, 3 state main event wins, back in control of this series.
Yeah, David was riding good those 2 races, and I mean, he's granted, excuse me, he's still riding really good, but you know, I just had a little bit of problems at those races, and my starts are coming back. I mein, the bike's working really good, and we've been kind of tuning it up, make sure, you know, we got the right tire selection, and Bridgestone's been a big help there, and you know, it's just all in start.
I know at the same time you've been dealing with this cold. We still hear you coughing. How are you able to even get in training or stay focused on this racing when you feel so bad?
Well, you know, you can't really train that hard when you're sick. So I the week before I didn't ride at all. And then this last week I rode 2 days, but I didn't really train. I didn't want to push it because I knew I had a cough going, and you know, I don't want to make myself worse. So I'm going to continually slowly get back into my training, and I'll probably end up doing some this week.
You have the great 3 weeks. You got another streak going. Congratulations on the win here at the Silverdome.
Thanks a lot. It feels great to be up here. You know, the last 3 races have been fairly easy for me. I just get to start, and it's not been that big. So, you know, I'm just having a good time, and that's about it.
Jeremy McGrath will have to be on his deathbed before anybody comes close to him. If that's the case, he still has a very bad case of the flu and a cough down deep. But Jeremy McGrath picks off another one here, his 5th win of the season. Tortelli, a very fine situation in second place as we take a look at the top 10. Ricky Carmichael coming back to get into the top 10. Greg Schnell, fine race too, getting into the main event through the last chance qualifier. Let's go down to Davey.
Sebastian, what a surprising ride. I know you fell about the midway point, then you got back on the gas, you ran up into second.
Yeah, you know, I was third and I stole the bike at the landing, so that was pretty bad. And after that, I just did my race and raced the track, and the track was getting tiring, and I worked pretty hard, and that paid today. And I would thank my sponsor Honda, who did a great bike. You know, that's long time I'm working hard. Outdoor went good, but I get hurt, and hopefully this year going to be better. And so I would like to thank them for the support. I would like to thank Snoopy, who helped me since the beginning out here, Smith, who helped me today, and a lot of sponsors that maybe I forget, but I'm so happy today, and that's a long time I haven't been on podium.
Very good job. We're also going to go to the third place rider here, and here's another big surprise. Damon, that was a ride like the Damon Huffman of old. You seem to really get it together there in the main event.
Yeah, I did, and you know, that start makes all the difference for me. These guys are so good, you can't come through the pack like you used to, but my Suzuki got me up front, and I rode good, ran second for a long time, and made a little bit of a bobble at the end of the whoops, and that's what did it for me.
Welcome back to the podium, Damon.
Thanks a lot. It's been a while, and I'd like to thank Team Suzuki, my mechanic Brian Barry, Thor, Shoei, Smith Goggles, and Dunlop Tires. Thanks, everyone.
It's been quite a comeback for this young man after winning the Atlanta Supercross in 1997. Severe injuries altered a once promising career. Roger DeCosta there on the left believed he could make it back. That's why our U.S. Army Teamwork Award goes to the Team Suzuki crew, team manager Roger DeCosta, mechanic Brian Barry, and all the others who helped number 20 Damon Huffman back up on the podium. Congratulations, Team Suzuki, our U.S. Army Teamwork Award winner. As a tremendous crowd leaves the warmth of the Silverdome for the snow-covered terrain, let's check out the Suzuki point standings. Jeremy McGrath with a 22-point lead on Vuillemin. He could set out 2 races and still be ahead of Carmichael and Wyndham.